Hey, welcome back to Tech Talk with O. Today we're going to talk about what's better, to get a brand new sealed in the box budget smartphone like this Moto G stylus, or to get a used, older, high-end smartphone like the S10e. I tested these two out along with the Note 20 so we can see what's the best bang for the buck. And let me rip off the bandage right now. It's much better to go with an older, high-end smartphone than it is to get a brand new budget smartphone. We'll talk about why, and then for those of you who have trouble picking a really good phone, we're going to talk about how to identify a really good phone by using one simple method and looking for one simple aspect. And then lastly, we're going to talk about where are some safe, good places to buy some phones. And I'll give you some iPhone and some Android suggestions, some Windows suggestions too, if anybody you... No, I'm just kidding. Let's get started. Real quick to tell you about the test. The Moto G was brand new in the box, sealed, okay? It's only been used for about a week just in testing. The S10e and the Note 20 were actually used for the last 4 and 5 years, day-to-day daily drivers, and then also for this past week of testing. So we're going up against 1 week of use versus 5 and 4 years of use. Right out of the box, the Moto G really impressed me. First of all, it looks pretty nice. Second of all, it has a stylus, which I never use mine on any of my Galaxy phones, but I don't know, it's cool to have. And then it has a headphone jack that I would never use, but at the same time, it's like, wow, I got a headphone jack. That's usually a dead giveaway if it's going to be a budget phone. There's maybe a couple exceptions, but in general, budget phones will have the headphone jack because in the mind of like Motorola, for example, they're thinking like, all right, let's go budget demographic. They're not gonna buy Bluetooth headphones, so they're gonna need a headphone jack. Otherwise, they won't even look at our phone. But regardless, really good. It was really snappy right out of the box. I was very impressed. So for the battery test, I played YouTube videos for about 7 hours, and then I checked on the battery. All of them had adaptive brightness on. The S10e died after about 7 hours. The Moto G still had 50% left, and the Note 20 had about 50% left. So this is still really good battery. The camera on it fits very basic needs, but it's not capable of like making memories if that's what you're looking for. It has a 50 megapixel main camera sensor, while the S10e and the Note 20 had a 12 megapixel main camera sensor. But just like age, pixel count is nothing but a number. Look, hold on real quick. I was turning these on, and this is on. Look, everything popped up, right? Oh, starting. Everything's on. I'm QBG. He has 20 million subs. It would be nice to catch up. Anyway, we'll get back to the video and we'll just wait for this. So I can compare all three cameras side by side, and as you can see, when you zoom in, the Samsung phones keep their quality. Motorola, on the other hand, you can see the noise come in real quick. So you got to get that picture perfect right when you snap it. Otherwise, you can't really crop or do anything else afterwards. It's gonna look really bad, really fast. Still, right out of the box, the Motorola phone, it felt really good. It really surprised me. But the more I kept testing it out, the worse it was getting. Remember, this is only after 1 week. If I were to use it as a daily driver for a month, for a year, for 4 and 5 years, like these phones, I don't think it would have lasted more than a few months. You would have given me a lot of trouble. Even right now, look, it's still taking so long to turn on. All right, now it turned on. But as you can see, it's taking a really long time just to load up. I know this one did the same Android starting up, but it started really fast. And then the apps came up right after. And then let's click YouTube. We're still waiting. I'm probably gonna have to fast forward through this. Like again, let's click the Play Store. Okay, at the same time, Play Store. Again, this is a 5-year-old phone versus a phone that was brand new in the box. Let's check X. So pretty much what I was saying. But again, the batteries for the Note and the S10e, they held up really well. I know the Note and the Motorola smashed the S10e in battery life, but they were just incredible batteries. And then again, after 4 and 5 years of daily drivers, both the S10e and the Note 20 had no hiccups. They were running smooth the whole time. They still took incredible pictures, even if you compare them to phones nowadays. The Moto G, on the other hand, it showed its price really fast. It wasn't snappy. It began to lag. Some apps wouldn't open at all. Some apps would have to reopen. Even looking at the screens, the S10e and the Note 20, they have more vibrant screens. I tried going through the settings and changing and adjusting Moto G, but at the same time, it just wouldn't. It was more bland. I need to keep emphasizing these are 4 and 5 year old phones, the Note 20 and the S10e. While this was brand new in the box and it was already giving me trouble just within a week of testing. I just can't imagine how bad it'll be after a month or 2 months. It's really easy when you see a lot of reviews and they'll just talk about like, oh, it works, it's great, it's snappy, it's for your parents, for your kids, or for something like that. But no, if it's about the same price, go for a used high-end phone. Your parents, your kids, whoever, they're gonna love it. It's gonna last them years to come. This phone, on the other hand, it's unusable after a little bit. And that's why it's important. Just get a high-end used phone. They're going to be about the same price. Get it from a place you trust. We're going to talk about that later on. But for now, let's talk about how to identify a really good smartphone. Everyone's looking for a smartphone that runs smooth, runs really well, battery lasts all day, something that doesn't have hiccups, doesn't lag, it's there when you need it, it does what you need it to do, and it doesn't make you want to just slam it against the wall. But how do you pick a quality smartphone if you don't know anything about CPU, benchmarks, RAM, all the boring stuff? There's actually one simple feature you need to look for: the camera. If you got a phone with a great camera, it's going to be a great phone. All right, because just to get a great camera, it's going to need a lot of processing power. If your phone has a lot of processing power, it's going to need a really good battery to keep the phone going, maintain that processing power, and it's going to need something to cool the phone down. So it's going to have really good heat management. And this is all going to ensure a really nice, smooth, snappy phone. Okay, there's a lot more I can say, but the bottom line is get a phone with an excellent camera, even if a camera is not your top priority. Moto G had 15 megapixels, and the Note and the S10 had 12 megapixels. That's for the main camera. So, but there's a lot of factors in making a great camera. It's not just megapixels. So, how are you going to tell what phones have the best camera? The best way is to go on MKBHD's channel. He does blind smartphone camera tests. The main thing about this list, what you need to know, is any phone on that list is going to be a quality phone. He only picks the best camera phones, which are going to have the best processor. You can go back all the way to 2019, where the S10e actually was runner up to the S10 Plus. And now that you know where to find quality smartphones and what to look for in finding a quality smartphone, now you just pick your preferences. Are you looking for battery? Are you looking for Android? Are you looking for iPhone? Do you want a bigger phone? Do you want a smaller phone? Is it within your budget? Do you want a newer phone or older phone? So real quick, before we talk about where you should buy your phones from, remember these are both about $200. They're brand new, sealed, and this one is used. But if you're still looking like you really want something sealed in the box and you still want something good quality, you could spend a little bit more and you still get good quality phones. So in MKBHD's blind smartphone camera test, the last three winners were the Pixel 5a, which started at $449, the Pixel 6a, which started at $449, and then the Pixel 7a was actually the winner last year, which starts at $499. So I know that's a lot more than 200, but they generally go on sale. So you can get them for even less, especially the 5a and the 6a, because they're older. That was their starting price. Now I'm sure you can get them sealed for a much better price. And then if you're an iPhone person, there's the iPhone SE from 2022, and there should be another one coming up soon in the next year or two. But they start at $429. I would recommend always getting the most high-end phone, but just get it a couple years older. I have the S24 Ultra, but it's almost exactly identical to my wife's S23 Ultra. Like when I was testing them both out side by side, I couldn't really tell any difference. Or if you're an iPhone person and you just get the iPhone 14 Pro Max or 13 Pro Max, even 12 Pro Max, I would stop there because the iPhone 11s didn't have the 5G. But anyway, with the Pixel A series and the iPhone SE series, you're getting great battery life, you're getting great cameras, you're gonna miss a couple of things, a couple of the bells and whistles, but you're still getting really good phones. Now we're gonna talk about where to look for good quality phones. So first thing, I wouldn't suggest buying it from people from like online, from Facebook or OfferUp or Craigslist. But my main concern is if you get the phone, you test it out, you're like, all right, this is works perfect. Here's the money, and you walk away, and then you find out like after a couple of days use, the battery has a battery issue, it's draining really fast, or you find out after a couple of days use, the Bluetooth comes in and out, or you find out after a couple of days use, oh, like the charging port is not great. It just some things happen. So that's why I always recommend getting it from a place that does have a return policy, not to take advantage of a return policy, not to buy 10 phones and then find the one you like and then return the next nine. You're gonna hurt like a small business like that. My advice would be do the research, go on MKBHD's blind smartphone camera test, see the phone you like, find your preferences, find the budget, and then you pick that phone, and then you buy it from a place anywhere that has a return policy. Even if it's brand new in the box, you go for Amazon, Target, Best Buy, somewhere. But if you're gonna get it used, Amazon and eBay are actually two great places. Amazon has that A to Z guarantee where you can return it with no questions asked, as long as it's one of those prime sellers. And eBay has that too now. On eBay, you just search what you want, go to the filters, choose buy it now, choose your location, filter out the carriers. Lastly, you choose the condition. We'll just choose brand new as an example right now. Then you sort from least to greatest, and then you pick a phone, look at the seller before you buy, and then here you go. You see a brand new sealed phone, you see the seller's ratings and free returns. And if you're happy with it, you keep it. If there's any issues, they sell so many phones. So maybe this one, the seller didn't know it had a bad battery or Wi-Fi doesn't connect or something went wrong. You just send it back, you get your free return. You have that peace of mind that that's an option. Personally, I like to go to Amazon and go to Amazon Renew. So Amazon, as most of us know, has a 30-day return policy. Amazon Renewed products have a 90-day return policy. So that's amazing. And that's one of the reasons why I usually go there. And here's how you go on there. I'll have a link in the bottom if you want. And they sell other products besides phones, but let's stick with phones for now. And then find the phone you want. Search it, find it. I think you'll be happy. You'll get to see the reviews for the seller also. You get to see that you get 90 days to return it. And at the end of the day, phones are a necessity. They don't have to be expensive and they don't have to be cheap and crappy. You can find a phone within your budget that you're gonna love and that's gonna make your life easier. Do your research. You don't want to go back and forth in different phones or doing returns. Do your research. Find a phone you love with your preferences. Be happy, be comfortable, and be confident with the phone you're gonna pick. I left some recommendations in the description. If you like the video, then please like the video. Please sub. Please leave a comment about what else you want to see. Thank you guys. See you next time.